Hey guys, welcome back to Ivy Crypto. Today I want to give an update on another one of my big investments, and that is Fetch.ai, aka Fet. Guys, before we get into it, as always, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I've talked about this one on the channel before, and I've talked a lot about artificial intelligence and augmented reality. Those are my two big investments for the future. Everybody knows that AI is going to have a massive part in the future and in our world in the coming years, and this is a fantastic project, and it's had a lot of things happen in the last few weeks and months. So I really want to get into it and talk a little bit why I'm so bullish on this one. It has had quite a good run recently, but I do think that it can go even more. So getting right into the announcement, guys, as I always recommend, I don't use Twitter for anything else other than crypto news. So if you are invested into any projects or you're watching any projects, I highly recommend getting on Twitter and following them, as especially companies like Fet, but most cryptocurrencies are super active, and this is where you're going to get the latest news as and when it happens. So going into the first thing that's happened for this one, Fet got listed on crypto.com. So we saw a lot of movement in the Fet price in the last month or so. Obviously the crypto market went from green to red, and it affected most things, but there was some major exchanges that listed Fet this month. So crypto.com was one of them. And then we had Fet take the #1 place for AI cryptocurrency projects. So it took over from Ocean Protocol, which is another one that I'm heavily invested in and I've made quite a few videos about. So they've taken over as of this post, which was a couple of days ago, at 304 million market cap. Price still sitting quite low at the moment, but just an absolute bargain. Fet under $1 is an absolute steal. In a couple of years from now, we're not even going to remember a time where Fet was under $5. And same with Ocean Protocol, just absolute bargains with such low market caps. These ones are absolute gems, sitting at 131 and 133 on crypto.com's, on CoinMarketCap's listings. Then we had the big one. So Fet got listed on Coinbase. Had a bit of a rough 24 hours when it got listed, and it wasn't necessarily the massive, price gainer that people thought it was going to be, but it got listed on Coinbase, and this is a really big thing for a lot of cryptos. So it's a pretty good thing that it happened, and now it's got exposure to the largest cryptocurrency exchange in America. Then they had another milestone with their DeFi agents. So something I'm going to go more into shortly, but they've got more than 30,000 DeFi agent users, which is absolutely fantastic because they only launched the DeFi agents, I'd say, less than a month ago. So it's pretty impressive, and Fet does have a lot of growth, and I do strongly believe in this project in the next couple of years. And I do, not that I'm giving financial advice, but if I had a couple of $1,000s to spend, or even a couple of hundred to invest, I would be investing in Fet. Now, going into the DeFi agents, which is something that I think has really pushed the price and exposure for this one. So what are they and what do they do? So DeFi agents, automated DeFi liquidity management. So Fetch first decentralized finance application is going to help millions of users to automate various tasks in DeFi. So the future of DeFi is intelligent automation. Fetch is spearheading the effort by bringing AI-powered solutions to the DeFi space. They introduced the first version of the DeFi Agents app not too long ago. It enables users to automatically withdraw liquidity from any Uniswap version 2 or PancakeSwap v2 pool based on predefined conditions spot price. The DeFi Agents app can efficiently limit impairment loss to acceptable levels and enable effective protection from violent price movements, including the infamous rug pulls. We talk in this, which we'll go through today, they talk about all these things: connecting your MetaMask wallet, creating an agent, creating a trigger, etc., etc. They'll be using the DeFi Agents app on the Ethereum mainnet, and the UI and agent setup process are identical on Ethereum as they are on the Binance Smart Chain. So here it goes through a step-by-step. Now guys, if you want me to make a video about this, I am more than happy to. Let me know in the comments. I'm not going to go too into how to actually set up the agents, but I have had a look at it. I don't have one set up myself yet, but I am a big fan of this for people that are into trading and liquidity pools and all that sort of stuff. like I said in previous videos, living in Australia, it's not something that I can really participate in because all these events trigger capital gains taxes, and I am not a big fan of paying taxes unless I've taken stuff out. So I do want to talk about the future features, and more types of triggers will be added, and some will include the APY monitor, the sentiment, the best pool, Ethereum fees, stop losses, portfolio management, private Uniswap v3 strategy, Ethereum fund management v1, and Ethereum fund management v2. I just think this is absolutely fantastic. I cannot say enough good things about what these guys have created and what they are doing in the AI space and in the crypto space. And Fet is a product that's not just great in crypto, but it's great in a lot of different industries, as I talked about in my review video. So the use cases of this product are fantastic, and that's what I want to talk a little bit about further with the DeFi agents. And just in general, the use cases for autonomous agents. So there's a couple of things I wanted to show here, and there's the AI intelligence technology landscape. And this is a pretty blurred image, so I do apologize, guys, but it talks a little bit about the landscape of AI, and this is one of the reasons I'm so bullish. And then we talk a little bit more about which regions can gain the most from AI and why. So obviously North America, North Europe, China, absolutely massive there. The rest of the world, developed Asia, etc., etc. So all regions of the global economy will experience benefits from artificial intelligence. North America and China stand to see the biggest economic gains, with AI enhancing GDP by 26.1% or 14.5%. That's a total of $10.7 trillion and 70% of the global economic impact. Now, guys, obviously, I understand the argument that with AI comes loss of jobs and comes a lot of other, I guess, negative things. But unfortunately, this is the progression of the world that we live in. We are going more and more towards technology and more into these things. So this is just something that, you know, if you are an investor or if you're into the cryptocurrency space, you need to be ahead of the herd. And just like 10 years ago, people that were investing in Bitcoin saw a vision. This is, in my personal opinion, the vision for the future. AI, augmented reality, you know, NFTs, all that stuff, that space really is DeFi. Those are massive spaces that are going to have a massive impact on the world. And up last, we got the 5 multi-trillion-dollar innovation platforms. And obviously, artificial intelligence is a big one on that list. Now, some of the use cases, just to wrap up this video for autonomous agents, is autonomous AI travel, decentralized delivery, consumer goods purchasing, supply chain integration and ordering, collective learning, risk management, smart booking system, and smart mobility and transport. And one of the things that, you know, there's a lot of cryptocurrency projects out there, and there's obviously other AI projects out there, but Fetch's goal is to significantly different to many of the other blockchain and AI projects currently in development. And at first glance, a non-technical person might perhaps think, you know, it's not really grasping the concept of Fetch's aim. But Fetch is not just creating a buzzword Frankenstein, but it's actually driving toward the ultimate goal of creating an entirely autonomous agent-based digital economy. Fetch is building the framework that can make this possible through a unique combination of multiple cutting-edge technologies. And because of this aim, from a technical perspective, Fetch is fascinating. It encompasses 4 different pieces of technology, which is seamlessly linked together through the projects. And that's the Open Economic Framework, the AEA Framework, the Agent Metropolis, and the Fetch blockchain. It's fantastic. And the Fetch blockchain uses announced combination of proof of stake with proof of work to deliver a consensus known as useful proof of work. New blocks are created through normal POS protocol, with the overall transaction order being determined by work carried out in between 2 blocks. And the work is recorded on a directed acyclic graph that grows between the blocks. The DAG is started with the previous block and is then terminated by a block minted by proof of stake. So those are just some of the reasons that Fetch is going to be Fet is going to be huge, in my personal opinion. Some big news coming out of this project. What do you guys think? Are you invested? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and as always, watch this space.